Hello my foodie friends, and welcome back to another edition of In the Kitchen with Karen. So I hope everyone's new year is going well so far. I know we're only into it a few days, but so far so good. I thought that I would make for you today one of my all-time favorite appetizers, crab stuffed mushrooms. Now you've probably had these at really fancy weddings or fancy cocktail parties, but you've never made them at home. So today I thought I would show you how to do it. Of course, we are going to need crab, and I don't know where you live, but here in California, we're having like a big crab shortage, so I couldn't get any fresh crab. So today I'm going to be using the pasteurized canned crab, which is kind of like the next best thing. And we're going to be using some cheeses, some Worcestershire sauce, some garlic, and some fresh breadcrumbs, and it is going to be delicious. So let's get cooking. For our recipe, we're going to need 12 large mushrooms, and you want to clean them off with a damp paper towel. Never rinse your mushrooms underwater because that is going to make them soggy. So just give them a little clean. Now after we have cleaned our mushrooms, we're going to take off the stems. So just kind of go around with your knife like that, pop it out. And then you're also going to need to kind of scoop a little bit out like this, because we need enough room in there so our filling will fit. Now this is an extra large mushroom. I was trying to get all the same size, but couldn't find everyone the same size. So this is what I would call a jumbo mushroom. So see, you want it to look like that. Now this is the more normal size large mushroom. Now I'm not going to be using the stems today in the recipe, but if you'd like to keep them, you can definitely use it to make some mushroom stock, or chop them up and make some sauteed mushrooms to go in a pasta or whatever you like to use them for. As you can see, we have taken out the stems of our mushrooms and we've cleaned out the inside a little bit, so it's going to hold more of that delicious crab meat. And now what I'm going to do is we are going to pre-bake these mushrooms for about 10 minutes in the oven. Because if you don't do that, what happens is say you just make the filling, stick it in there, put it in the oven. Well, the filling is going to get hot before the mushrooms have a chance to cook. So if we pre-cook them a little bit first in the oven, it's going to make a big difference. And I'm just lightly brushing them with some melted butter. Let's get started making our filling. We're going to need one 8-ounce package of softened cream cheese, a half a cup of shredded parmesan, 1/2 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and now we're going to need 3 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley. Now whenever you're chopping, hold the knife like this and rock it back and forth. And now we're going to reserve 1 tablespoon for the top of our mushrooms once they're finished. Next, we need a half a cup of chopped green onions. Now try to get both the white part and the green part in. Next, we're going to need 2 cloves of finely chopped garlic. Now when you have your crab, don't just take the can and dump it in, because what happens when they can crab, you can possibly get some little shells in there. So I know this is going to be a little bit time consuming, but you need to pick through all the meat to make sure there is no shell in there, and just put it in a bowl. And so now we're going to be using 2 cups of the crab meat. And now we're going to be using 3/4 of a cup of fresh breadcrumbs. Now if you only have the dry, that's fine too. And a 1/2 cup of grated fresh Parmesan cheese. And now we're going to mix this well. Now make sure you get the cream cheese really well incorporated. Now add a few small dashes of Tabasco sauce, a 1/2 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, so our mushrooms have come out of the oven, and now we're going to place our filling on top. So here we have stuffed all our mushrooms, and I was very generous with the filling. Now as you can see in the bowl, we still do have a little bit left over. And now you can use this to make a hot crab dip, or you can make a crab melt sandwich. Whatever you can think of to do with it. And now I put them back on our baking rack, and we're gonna put them back in the 375-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes, or until the top is a nice light golden brown. So these were cooking at 375, and they did take 20 minutes to cook. And now I'm just gonna finish by sprinkling with a little bit of fresh parsley, the tablespoon that we saved when we first started chopping. So what did you think, guys? Pretty easy, right? Didn't take long to make, and believe me, it is worth the effort. Now I can't lie, I tried a little of the crab mixture even before I started baking them in the oven, so I know they're gonna be good, but you know what time it is, time for me to taste an official bite. Even better when they're hot. You get a little toastiness on top from the cheese, and then the crab mixture is so creamy, cheesy, not too salty. Taste that Old Bay seasoning, which is so iconic with crab. And I think your guests are really gonna like these, or just yourself, of course. So I hope you guys give these a try. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button. I'd really appreciate it. Share it out with your friends, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye, everybody.